The day that I said to Bill Maher after and once again, using that joke of saying, well, I wish that President Obama. was less Wayne Brady and more, I forget which gangster rapper, whatnot.
I can't.
How dare you as a white man try to define this thing?
It's called racist. He's racist.
He is racist.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to America Who Hurt You. I'm your host, Sarah Jones. You might know me from the voices of my characters, but on this pod, you'll mostly hear my voice in conversation with some of my favorite people, helping us get through these least favorite times in the country's history. My God. One favorite person is the almost impossibly talented Wayne Brady. He's won more awards than I can count for his work on Whose Line Is It Anyway?, the Broadway productions of The Wiz and Moulin Rouge, and the recent Freeform show Wayne Brady, The Family Remix, and of course his 9-to-5 gig, Let's Make a Deal. Wayne truly has seen it all, and in the past few years, he's been really vocal about what seen it all actually means as a queer Black man in America. We get into his journey in the limelight and how he uses his platform to shed light on ways we can all get through this moment and hopefully to the midterms. That is, if they'll even let some of us vote. But one place your vote does count is on this pod. Whether you're listening to this or watching it on YouTube, if you like this episode, please share that. Follow us on all the socials at America Who Hurt You and subscribe to our Substack. Yes, I'm Sarah Jones. All of that really supports the work we're doing here and it will help us keep going in the future. And now, the incomparable Wayne Brady. I heard you talking about your own accomplishments, and it really helped me see how much the culture we're in doesn't usually allow space for a right-sized, what I mean?
Don't even get me started on this one.
Tell me.
Well, first off, I want to apologize because I'm not a shades indoor person, but I scratched I've got a new puppy. And
the family has grown.
Named Dave. And Dave this morning, he slapped me in my eye and my contact scratched. So my eyes are a little sensitive. So I'm not trying to be cool boy.
You look cool. I would have gone with the shades.
Well, thanks.
I was like,
because I'm not a shades indoor guy, but I just want to tell you.
I mean, musicians,
it's
y'all
true,
do.
True.
Anyway, I was going to ask you about young Wayne, right? And growing up, my mind went to Lil Wayne. Now I have I have so much improv in my head now. Because growing up in Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about that. It's not that far from the Panhandle. Like, we're basically talking about the South in some ways. There's enough, right? And like, for people who aren't clear, 5-time Emmy winning. Like, I mean, the fives keep coming. Quintuple threat, the comedy, the singing, the dancing, the music. To me, you're a great writer, and because improv is writing. This is my thing. You being able to own all of that it's political in a certain way to say, as Black people, we haven't been allowed to take up a certain amount of space. And so by taking up that space, we are combating racism. To a certain
absolutely.
Extent, right? Nobody has done the range of what you've done in the ways that you've done it, and especially not a Black person, a Black man.
The things that we know now, and I'm not going to say us, me, at my age, I'm 53, I've really just embraced in the last few years, maybe the last 5 years, talk your shit. And I say that in the sense of there is a difference between being a narcissist and having a full-blown ego. But here's the thing that I learned that I wish I could go back in time and tell younger Wayne that I try to impart on my daughter now, especially Black people. Mm-hmm. But I think this is a human thing, but I can just speak from our thing. From the time that you were little, you learn and you are taught to hide your light or have your light be as bright as the room will allow.
Yes.
Being from the neighborhood that I was from, I was bussed out of my neighborhood at an early age to be part of this gifted program from the time I was in first grade.
Wow.
So I was told by these people, you're special, but you're this special.
Right.
So don't be so that, and then when you get home, you are supposed to downplay your achievements. I don't want to make anyone in the neighborhood feel bad when they're like, oh, well, you think you this and you that. So you do that. That's a learned behavior. So even when you start to climb, oh, look, I booked this role. I did this thing. Oh, so you think you, oh, no, I don't think that at all. I mean, so by the time that you get someplace, the first time that I started booking stuff and then you get on and you're who the world says you are, the reviews are like, oh, the thing that I love about Wayne Brady the most is that he's so friendly and humble. Well, you know where humble gets you at a certain point is people forget the shit that you've done, because if you don't want to talk about it, then no one else is. So at a certain point, yes, the awards up at my house, the posters at my house, the things that you can Google, instead of me being at that point in my life where it's like, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. I realized that when I would be in a full Broadway cast full of other performers, they're like, I didn't know you sang the way that you. I was like, bitch, I'm a Grammy nominated 2 times.
Let them know.
And I've done these things. So I'm just saying all that to say, own what you own, because at a certain point, to misquote Lynn vis-a-vis Hamilton, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. If you don't tell your story, if we don't tell our story within formats like this out in the world, you give other people the right to go, oh, well, that dude does this or she does that, da-da-da. And then that becomes codified. And you wake up one day, and especially as a creative, that's death. And I do that every day, especially in this town. I have to remind people of what I do so that they don't go, oh, yeah, that's the guy from the... I'm the this. Okay. So that's my little speech.
So that was my breakfast. I am
that's
now
my TED
fully
Talk.
nourished.
And like, I say that because there might be people who don't know. Like I've known your whole career, your whole arc, everything from Whose Line to, and I would always be like, low key, I waited for you. I was like, when is Wayne? And luckily you were always like, you know, at the center of the sketches and I'm no shade to those lovely other folks, Colin and all the people, but to be that bright a light and to bring so much joy and have it also get misconstrued as this person who can do everything and anything is somehow less of who he is because he appeals. So like you're like America's sweetheart. But I bring this up because, and I wonder if you relate to this. So my poster's on my wall of the stuff I've done. In more recent years, I've realized that without intending to, that gifted, talented, which that's already fucked up, right? Because you're telling people who they are and what kind of box, and you fit in a gifted box that we built for you, Wayne. But I remember realizing that I had turned into a palatable negress for some people. And I feel like that definitely applied. Everybody loves Wayne. And also people try to question your Blackness, like all your career. I wonder, first of all, I'm sure you're tired of hearing the Chappelle thing. But there are people on my crew who weren't born when you had that defining moment of basically saying to America, you don't fucking know all the facets of me and my Blackness. Like you think you know Wayne Brady, you don't know Wayne Brady.
Which that's always been a double-edged sword, that thing, because I did it not to say, see how Black I am, because even saying, look at me do this sketch to define how Black I am is silly to me.
Right.
It's look what a dope actor and writer I am because I helped to create that with Dave and Neil. And that's the facet. And so the funny thing to me was and I talk about this on stage a lot, is there were people who post that, you know, I'd get stopped in the street and you know, a dude from around the way would come up, Wayne, you know, I wasn't fucking with you like that, but then I saw you on that, and then the expected thing is, yes, thank you so much, brother. But then because of where I sit on the spectrum, I can't shut my mouth sometimes and just say thank you. I also go, but brother, let me also let me also tell you why I believe that your love for that sketch and what you just said to me is wrong. Well, what do you mean? Because you're saying you didn't like me pre this sketch where I am calling women out of their name. I call this woman a hoe. I'm playing a pimp. I'm doing drugs. I'm threatening murder. I'm shooting people. It's all in humor, but you like that. That says more about you, brother, and our culture and these things that have been foisted upon us that have been normalized as, well, that's Black.
Right.
So you didn't like me pre that.
Right.
I want you to challenge that, not just about me, but just in general.
Right.
It does not have, certain behaviors do not have to equal Black. They don't have to be shorthand for Blackness. And I think that is the problem. And I don't know why, but that was what God has decided to put upon my back as a fight that I fight for myself and for other Black people every day of my life, pre-TV, every day. It's always challenging that. Why can't a brother or a sister be palatable to everybody when they're just bringing joy? And I already know the answer, and it's far too long for this, right? It's wrapped up in the systemic nature of what is Black, what is white, what are you allowed to do, and well, if you appeal to these people, then you obviously can't be any of us, because this is what we were allowed to do, this is what we were told that we were supposed to do. If you go past this ceiling, then you're trying to be something that you're not. Well, who told me that I can't be that thing? And it's all this weight. So I don't even.
Well, let me say this. Thank you for going there, because it is an uncomfortable fucking time to be alive, to be human. Then you add Blackness, you add being a creative person. For you as a Black man, there are certain expectations that you've just defied in every way. And I think what you said about, having somebody say, oh, I didn't fuck with you till you do the whatever. And like, really that all starts with, and again, I know this is it's from the past, but it echoes right now. Bill Maher, who hasn't aged well in terms of his ability to pay attention. You told people. You tried to tell us, Wayne Brady.
And it took Dave Chappelle recently saying something about, I told people the day that I said to Bill Maher after he, and once again, using that joke of saying, well, I wish that Wayne Brady was, that President Obama. was less Wayne Brady and more, I forget which gangster rapper, whatnot. I can't. And even that, how dare you as a white man try to define this thing?
It's called racist. He's racist.
He is racist. And I don't care. Bill Maher can say, oh, I have all these Black friends. Look, I don't know Bill like that. And back in the day when I first got on, I used to do his the political show. Real time. No, the political show on ABC.
Politically correct.
Politically correct. I did it a few times. Yeah. I grew up watching Bill Maher, thought he was funny.
Right.
But when people tell you who they are.
That part.
And that just doesn't go for dating ladies. This goes for...
Don't date Bill Maher. I don't have experience, but...
I'm saying to Black women.
Don't do it.
Just
Black
because,
women, stop.
And I remember
this behavior.
there was a party way back in the day that I went to at the Playboy Mansion. I was invited to, and there was Bill Maher with two sisters on his arm, right? And I looked at her and I was like, and I don't even know... I'm never going to be one to yuck your yum, but yuck.
There's no yum there.
No, there's no yum there.
To be had.
And I saw it for what it was, and I was like, this is a cat who believes that his proximity and things you can use, that gives you the right to say what you want to say about another people whose shoes you never walk in. So,
and whose shoes you step on, whose toes you step on. Right?
I will say it out loud. That I don't hate Bill Maher. I don't know him as a person like that. What I do know is I know his words. So based on your words, I don't like you as a human because you're harmful to other people with the views that you espouse and the things that he said.
Yes.
And the platform that he has, which then through air quotes and humor, because he's not funny anymore to me, it's vitriolic because it just encourages the asinine behaviors and reactions in those whose the default setting is to be reductive of people.
Yep.
So
and to stereotype. And what I love is each of these, you've been like this, you've been predicting what's coming. And I mean, if you look at the trajectory of the moment we're in, this person who we're talking about who made that racist comment, look at where we are now. Like, trust us when we tell you it's going to be bad and don't let it get worse.
It is what
you
it
ignore
is.
us. And then he's at the White House with King Baby. And it's like, oh, this tracks.
Because it's the messenger, right?
Right.
That people feel that, oh, well, Wayne Brady does this stuff. He's too soft. He can't say da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the secret that I've been walking around for years, and I've talked about it on stage, so folks listen, is folks don't I never changed my messaging.
Right.
It was always the same. I've been the same cat since I was a kid. I have secretly walked around, which is why I have gone to great lengths for my mental health. I'm one of the angriest people that I know. I am, for my entire life, I've walked around angry since I was a child because of these external forces that tell you what you are and what you can't be. And it's always been raging, and I had to find a way to put that smile on that you would see on daytime TV so I could go about the world and do my thing before I snap and hurt somebody or myself or say something that, and I know where that anger comes from. That anger comes from day one of and feeling like, well, the world is telling me this thing. Right. These other people are telling me this. I have to find a way to maneuver. It's only been in the past few years, thank God, because of therapy
say it again.
And because of our art. You know, thank God because of therapy and the outlet that I have, that I've truly been able to work and excise those demons.
Oof, Wayne reminded me how necessary it is to find healthy outlets for my anger, especially in these times. So I'm gonna go beat a pillow with a certain politician's face on it, and then we'll be right back. We're back with the multi-hyphenate and multifaceted Wayne Brady. Up next, he talks about the heavy history underneath some of our comedy and the surprising ways that Let's Make a Deal is actually a subversive tool for healing. The art that you've been making all these years, I have always felt it as cathartic. When you're in these predominantly white spaces, so many of us are as Black people, and but to see how much, unfortunately, white racism trickles into us as Black folks having these inherited messages about ourselves that are, kind of left over from slavery. I mean, I'm just gonna take it all the way back. I remember hearing, and comedy is so vital. Like, I remember hearing, I think it was Bernie Mac's joke about, I'll beat you till the white meat shows. Funny until you
Bernie.
think, I know, he was so funny. He was the best storyteller, all those things. And when you listen to our incredibly colorful language, you can hear the overseer. Like whippings, all that stuff. We are so close. Right? And I just think about
That's where we learned to, and I'm of the generation of, where it's funny how we as trauma victims, we speak fondly about, man, my grandma used to beat my ass. She used to beat, it's like, yes, she used to beat you. You were beaten with a whip, with a belt, with a switch. And
don't give me a switch off
and
the
it
tree.
is so indoctrinated in us that is the way to discipline, because that's the discipline that was handed down. There's so many things baked into our messaging, going back to earlier when we were talking about talking your shit. That's why, not all, because I'm not a fan of a lot of them. Now I sound like a grumpy old man, but hip hop. Such a beautiful American art form in the sense of, in the early days, the Sugar Hill Gang talking about, I got a car so big, da-da-da-da-da-da, I got jewels. These dudes didn't have anything.
Right.
But through their language and they were able to imagine these worlds and to brag about these things that they would see, that they would want, that they would aspire to in such a huge, braggadocious, fantastical nature that's where that comes from. Because you're talking about a people, we couldn't brag until we couldn't open our mouths.
We weren't allowed to read.
We weren't allowed to read.
own anything. I tell people, this house
had a restrictive covenant on it that said no
What?
Negroes could ever own it. It was built in 1960 something. It's not 1865.
What?
Yes, but to your point, these brothers were like vision boards before we did vision boards,
Exactly.
right?
So why would we not want to talk our shit?
Yes.
Own yourself.
Yes.
So yes.
Literally, right? Literally, we are
Own
new to
yours.
self-ownership. That is so wild, Wayne, when you put it like that. And this is the thing, right? Your art, your creativity. I can feel the way you used it to help process that anger that you're talking about. I look back now and I'm like, oh, my characters are a trauma response to being Black in America.
Yes.
And like
yours and Whoopi's.
Whoopi for sure.
John Leguizamo's work as a Latin artist.
Yes. And I know this is interesting too. The moment that we're in and like the courage it takes to talk openly about these things, to get into therapy as a Black man. I feel like we're much more able to like see a brother on, whatever mainstream show and it's like, he's going to therapy or whatever. Like, and especially I'm so grateful for these Gen Z babies who are like emo. Now, don't get me wrong, the hip hop, the mumblecore is not giving as far as I'm concerned. We do sound like, you kids get off my lawn. But there's also like Chance the Rapper and K-Dot and you know what I mean? There's so much, this is my thing. I believe that when we don't have to deal with daily trauma, make your choice, do whatever you want. It's when, art like yours is, like for me, you've been doing Let's Make a Deal for 12 years. And do you know what? It is healing for me to have an escape where I can see this talented, kind, like just your kindness. Like I grew up on Mr. Rogers. I just need examples of people who are not bullies, building a ballroom in the people's house. Even that work, your being there as like one of America's sweethearts is more, do you feel that way? Do you feel like even in the choices that might not be obvious, your presence, do you have Black people come and say, you know what, I was that gifted and talented kid and people made fun of me and I couldn't shine, but you showed me that it was okay to be whatever.
So many theater kids. It's really around my stage work that those theater kids say that, and that makes me so happy. But the Let's Make a Deal thing, years ago, and this is our 18th season.
Wait, what? 18 years, y'all?
I think now, this is 2026 now?
Yeah.
I think in 2020, it changed Let's Make a Deal went from being the show that I do, this job that lets me live so I can do all the other stuff that's real art because this is a game show and I do it. It went from being that in my mind to, it took the pandemic when I saw, oh shit, there are people that really need a laugh. They need a hug because of TikTok. I was forming a community with people and I really don't do that normally because I'm very much to myself. I was like, wow, people watch this show and now we have a joke backstage because one day I came in and I said to the other producers, like, guys, people watch this show. And they looked at me like,
Sorry.
Yeah, Wayne, where have you been? I was like, well, just like you, I had my own shit going on that I didn't realize because I was in my own bubble. And at that point I went, you know what? I need this show to be more. It's more. So when I truly, it's $5 or $1,000 or $10,000 or a car or a trip, when I look at these people and I get to interview them, because I'm one of the only game shows that I will talk to people and let them talk and we'll have fun and the show doesn't care what I do as long as we do the deal. My job is not just a game show. My job is to make people feel good. Yes. And I realized that. And when that hit me 6 years ago, the honor of that, because yes, you know what? You could have your favorite film star, your favorite guy that's on the action show, or your favorite cast member from Bridgerton. But I guarantee you that none of those people that we all go in the show and say, oh, I want to be Will Smith, I want to do this. But those people don't get a chance to touch people I get a chance to touch people, and it's not lost on me as a Black man in America, being a trusted person in homes worldwide every single day. It's a different kind of relationship. And I am at a place that I go, thank you for that. And especially right now, if you turning on Let's Make a Deal helps you for 1 hour when there are 23 other hours of this happening, then I win.
Ooh, that part. And so do the winners, which I'm always like, oh girl, go to Seattle. I'm always so excited for people. But this is what I want to say too.
Go to Seattle.
I'm like, yes, get that luxury trip. But this is the thing too, right? You're not only touching those people, reaching those people who just need a laugh. I am telling you, Wayne, growing up in the family that I did, there were some racial sprinkles, and I can just hear my family, anybody who's listening says, we didn't have any racism in our family. There's not a racist bone in any of our bodies. And I'm like, just being white in America, there was stuff that people missed that I couldn't talk about to my relatives, or I didn't know how to write. But I do know, I would hear comments, oh, I love that so-and-so. You know, if there was a Black person on the TV who a white relative liked, you know, I had cops in my family.
Oh, I love that Flip Wilson.
Whoever. The point is that it would, you know, if somebody is pulling over a Black person, but maybe remembers, I love Wayne. Maybe that's one less ass whooping. I know that's sad. That's a low bar.
Hey.
Right? Like whatever. Yes. You know what I'm saying.
You are so right. And it's sad that we have to think that way.
Thanks for preventing one ass whooping from one of our fantastic, you know, people who's supposed to defend and so.
I think that all the time when I run into somebody who, and no shade to, we have a horrible relationship, we in the Black community, with law enforcement because as we know, and not everybody wants to hear the dire truth, but yeah, the law enforcement is the direct pedigree of the
slave patrols.
Of the slave patrols. Not all cops are bad guys. Not at all. And if somebody was mugging me, of course I want a cop to come and stop. But it's kind of sad that if somebody was mugging me and I was defending myself, there's a chance that I might get shot or beaten depending on what the other guy looked like, right? So it does make me happy that I have a currency.
Yes.
That I can go, like for instance, a few months ago, I had a show at a casino somewhere in, was it Oklahoma?
Wow.
Like I had to land in Texas and we had to take another small plane. It was like a 2-hour trip to go to this casino out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
When I tell you, a couple thousand people showed up to that show.
Yes.
That all looked like they, in any other circumstance, most of those people would beat my ass. And I even said something to him during the show. I was like, you know what? Looking out in this audience right now, it does my heart good because it gives me hope.
Yeah.
So I ask that the way that you embrace me and you love me, that the next time that there's this brother or sister that you walk up on, just give it a second thought, because simply by liking what I do, you may not even realize it. And I'm not saying that everybody in this room is prejudiced, but you know that some of y'all, you might have it. Just, if you can just like this person because he's a person and I can make you laugh, that other person is just a person too. And I saw the light go on in some of their eyes. And I was like, you know what? Worth it.
Worth it. Thank you,
trip.
Oklahoma. And I even watch myself, right? I'm like, ooh, he's in Oklahoma. You know, I have my own biases, some of which are, you know, reasonable. Founded. And yet, even in this moment, I saw a statistic somewhere about like how the algorithm is artificially making us feel so much more terrified of each other. It's, you know, like blasting, I think it's called rage farming. There's literally a term where as soon as you log on, you see whatever is going to, you know, enrage you the most. And it's those people over there. And yet when you're with somebody, it's a lot harder to stereotype them to, and I, you know, this also brings me to the thing of like being very almost introvert. Like I'm an introverted extrovert or an extrovert, introvert, ambivert, whatever. But I didn't know that. I was always like, I'm a whole bunch of characters and then at some point I was like, oh, I'm exhausted and angry in here.
Bingo.
Right? And what are my truths? I can't even hear my truth. I'm busy doing what my mom wants or this one or this husband, whatever. I don't even know who I am in here. And when you came out as pansexual in, I think it was 2023. Was it 2023?
It was a couple years ago.
A few years ago. I was like, God damn, Wayne Brady knows who the fuck he is. Like that, and I'm not saying you're a perfect person, but I'm saying in a racist, homophobic, transphobic, all the phobics, you came out and said, I love everybody. If you fine to me, I could love you.
Which, what's wrong with that?
It's amazing is what it is.
You know, what's wrong with that?
Now I'm like, how do I get there? Because my dating pool is terrible. Like this, please help me get away from these hetero men. I don't mean that. If you've done your work, you should approach me. I'm saying like that to me is a freedom that I feel in you. What led you to, and I know those who watch the family remix, you shared it with your family first. So, yeah,
because it's a very simple answer to me. Because I'm trying to live, right? And I'm trying to, not to get super, super deep, but look, I read this thing, and I guess based on life expectancies, once you turn 50, on average for a male, and not even black male specifically, let's not even get to those numbers.
Shave the expectancy
so
down.
At 50, you have roughly 26 years.
Wow.
Roughly 26 years from the time that, so at that point, I had to ask myself a question. It's like, well, Wayne, you've done okay to this point, I guess, in spite of yourself, in spite of these things. How do you want to, do you want to go out strong and do you want to live? And I said, yes. And if that meant doing the work on myself, for myself, because we do, especially in the therapeutic way, and I haven't even gotten into, that if there's anyone listening, that if you have any addictions, because addictions run in my family as well. Well, and I've done work with, you do a lot for other people. You go, oh, I'm gonna be healthy so I don't lose my blah, 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 or I'm going to fix this so I don't push away my friend.
Right.
You have to do whatever you're going to do for you. So I said, okay, what are we going to do, Wayne? So therapy, so all this work. And then that little nagging voice in the back was like, well, dude, you have never had a successful relationship ever in your life. Why is that? And I had to do a lot of real work on that and ask myself uncomfortable questions that, because of going back to race, because of the effect of diehard Christianity on the black family, being told, oh, if you gay, you're bad, you're going to hell, blah, 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 blah. So many folks are on the down low and that being a bad thing, going, well, if I was attracted to a man, that's bad, right? Then that means that I'm horrible. I can't be. Right. And then I had to go through a process of elimination. I said, well, I guess I have been attracted to a man. I've never said anything or acted on it, but I love women. But I also know that I've been attracted to people that maybe don't look either way. And then thank God for my daughter and for Gen Z and being able to raise light on things like pansexuality and then going, okay, if I am going to be truthful and be happy and live that life, even if it doesn't mean, and this is what I have to talk about in the press cycle all the time, it doesn't mean that I want to run to West Hollywood in some booty shorts.
I wish you would. That would be adorable.
I mean, I could.
I feel like we're going to get some fan mail for that one.
One time there was an exec who I got in trouble because I got a little bothered during our reality show that for ideas, that there were some ideas. It was like, okay, well, now that you're coming out, go to a drag show or go to these things. Right. And I was like, well, as someone, you're gay.
Right.
And you're telling me that I should No.
That I have to play into, and like as though, gay people are a monolith.
And then I got in trouble for being upset about that and speaking about it one time. Well, it's just funny how people try to control your narrative. I was like, no. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even mean that I'm saying, I'm pan because I want to go out and start dating willy-nilly. And no, it was just the act of saying this.
Yes.
Because what if I wanted to show up at a red carpet with a man,
yes,
or with a trans woman,
yes,
or with a trans man,
yes,
or with a non-binary person, or with a woman? I can show up with whoever. I can be with whomever, and it isn't, ooh, Wayne Brady, I caught you.
Right.
I've eliminated that from my life. You don't even know the freedom that feels like to be able to walk through. That's just one less. You don't check. You cannot do shit. You can't say anything about me in that regard anymore.
Right.
And that was that. And I wanted to be an example to my daughter, who is an example to me.
Yes.
This is like, say, hey, look, it's never too late. Dad is claiming his life. Yes. So when I do find that relationship, when I can be in a healthier space.
Self-love goals leading to unlimited love for others, that is a deal I definitely want to make. Sorry, I had to. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're back with the one and only Wayne Brady, sharing his ongoing healing journey and what's bringing him joy. I'm
still doing work. I've started ketamine treatments with and trauma work, yes, and all this stuff. And in the way of starting that, it's made me a better father, a better friend to Mandy, my ex-wife, who is my best friend. It's made me a better performer. I think it's made me a better host on Let's Make a Deal, because I'm open. I think I'm a little more open to people, and I'm still working. Like I'm working hard, and every day is its own thing. But it's so much better.
Wayne, okay, first of all, your work ethic is unmatched. I've never seen anyone who is, because there's talent and then there's actually using, like, what do they say? Don't die with your music still in you. You are just letting, all your creativity be wrung out of you in the most beautiful way for you and for everybody else. Like I feel that, and it's inspiring to me. I need to see it. And shout out to Miley, your daughter, who helps you. I see how that, connection is beneficial for both of you. And it makes me want to ask, in these times, part of what we're trying to give people is like hacks. Like, what are you doing? So you just shared ketamine. And for people who are like, ketamine? Not everybody does it like Elon Musk. You don't have to like horse tranquilize yourself.
Right. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right.
Until, like I read about it and we lost, I believe, Matthew Perry was using it. And other people, like, I didn't know that you could just get it at home. I was like, I would never do that shit by myself.
Right.
No. So please, if anybody, go to your therapist.
Yes.
It's a guided session. It's administered to you by a doctor.
Right.
And you do the therapy session. Don't do it at home.
Right. We're not talking about the party. This is not Real Housewives of Ketamine County situation. But I will say this, for people who don't, right? We're in a moment where people don't have health care. People can't buy groceries. So I try to remember, for some folks listening,
you're right,
those fears are real, or that's really also happening. And I love hacks like, if I could sing like you, I could sing a little. If I could sing like you, I would just sing to myself all day, and that would be my therapy. But what would you say to people who maybe it feels like they have nothing, they can't afford anything?
Oh, yeah.
What are some, you're an amazing dancer, what's on your playlist? What's bringing you joy that has maybe nothing to do with work? Are you a nature guy? Do you like to get out there? I know you love your animals.
Yes.
What helps?
My daughter makes fun of me. She makes fun of me a lot because, and I really haven't spoken about this at large because I didn't find any reason to. But, I think the good thing in today's world is a lot of us have started doing all this self-examination and because of TikToks and conversations about sexuality and your mental state, there were a lot of people who, when you were kids, we were classified as gifted and all this. You know what? You're autistic.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but
no, it's true, right?
Yeah.
So I took the test because I've always thought, because I was like, why do I act this way and da-da-da? So, yeah, so I won't even get into that. Yes.
All those things. Me too. I'm like, we can get together and compare notes.
Very much
like,
so.
how's your ADHD, late onset ADHD?
Oh my God.
Or whatever. Like, I'm just all the spices.
Thank God for the medication on that end too.
You know what?
So in finding out but that's part of that self-care. Finding out all these things and going, oh, that's why I was hypersexual. That's why I couldn't have this. That's why there was no. But then you flip it, and it was also your superpower. That's why you could stand on stage and make up these worlds and do these things. So it's crazy. And I'm writing a show about that, which I'm going to talk to you about because this is what you do. But in terms of those hacks, I had to realize all those things, and Miley makes fun of me because being on the spectrum and thinking the way that I do. Animals, my dogs, I have a relationship with animals in a way that sometimes that I just don't have with humans because I feel safe, because they quiet my mind, because I can be of service to them. Yes. So yes, I love my animals. When you talk about what brings me joy, and this isn't a pity answer, this is actually, oh good, I have to find these things. I've spent so long in my life thinking that all I was good for, and I'm using that language very specifically, that all I was good for is working and trying to provide for my family, that I wasn't worthy of when you say what brings you joy. I don't take vacations because, I don't want to spend the money on that because I'm not worth it, but I will do other stuff with my family. I don't really take joy in a bunch of material things. So my joys were always so small and tight to myself. Like I read, oh, that's joyful. But then someone's like, Wayne, man, what makes you happy? I was like, being on stage? Yeah, but when you're not doing that. Being on stage? I don't know. Part of my work right now is I'm finding out what brings me joy. So when you ask that, it almost makes me cry because I don't know. But the cool part is I'm finding out.
You get to find out. Wait, Brady, low-key, but I'm over here crying again. I'm very good at, first of all, there's no need for these personal attacks. Why are you me? What is happening right now? And there's concepts that I learned about. There's something called underbeing, which is when you are this big, big, bright light, but all you learn you're good for, right?
Yes.
Is you entertain others, you give others joy, or you're almost an object. You're this incredible, right? Like you walk in here and like, 5-time Emmy winner. It's like, but you're a person before you're a 5-time Emmy winner. And before you're this Broadway star and all these other kinds of stars, you are a person in there who deserves your own joy. So you and I are going to become joy buddies. We're going to be accountability partners.
I would love that.
On this. This is what I'm saying is a hack for everybody out there. It's free to call somebody you love or like reach out to them.
Yes.
To tap in and say, hey, yes, the world is a shitnado right now, but also I know we can still find joy some kind of way. Want to go for a walk with me? Or let's go, pet stores can be low-key problematic, but let's go to like a shelter and walk some dogs together or whatever.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, when you exchange joy notes, like I realized I have some inner younger parts of me that never grew up. Hi, nobody's surprised. But when I check in a few years ago, everybody's doing coloring books. There's so much kid stuff.
That's what I was going to tell you. That's it. Part of the one piece of joy that I do find that I can find is play. Yes. And I do teach that even in my classes. I say the first thing that you should learn is don't worry about, I'm going to be funny or I want to be there. You just need to play. Play. And I find there's joy in that. That is something, that's why I love playing with my nephews. And that's why when I'm on stage with my buddy Jonathan, we laugh sometimes over the silly shit that we're saying on stage. We're two guys over 50 on stage making fart jokes and giggling with each other. And that's why I was like, oh, that's why you like being on stage so much. Yes. It isn't the thing of, I need to be in front of an audience. No, the audience is secondary to me. I'm doing the same things on stage right now that Lil Wayne, not Lil Wayne, used to do in my room, in my backyard, by myself. I'm good by myself. I can create, make voices, write stories, be these things, except now there's an audience. and I'm making myself laugh, and if you're laughing because I'm laughing, great, then we all win. So I tell people, a hack is find some piece of childhood joy, whether it's board games, whether it's, you know what, get a bubble gun, go in the backyard and shoot bubbles at each other.
Not near law enforcement.
Right, no. And make sure that it's brightly colored.
Very
and I'm
brightly
saying
colored.
Bubbles. And play, you know what?
And don't be black or brown.
And no play.
This exercise is only
Do
for
it
white
indoors.
men.
Have fun, white
Straight
kids.
White men, sorry.
Do it inside. Play tag.
Go inside your house, first of all. Don't leave. No.
Right. Don't leave and put bubble wrap inside.
Bubble wrap, not the bubble gun.
Bubble wrap. There's a reason why dodgeball leagues, kickball leagues,
pickleball, yes.
We need a bit of joy, and the only way to get that joy, and it's free. Tap in, and now those same people that you're talking about, I can hear it saying, well, Wayne, how can I take that time when I'm just trying to live?
2 jobs.
And I've got 2 jobs and whatnot. And you know what? Growing up with my grandma, who she did that hustle, and I saw her, she even had to take time. She came from a generation where I feel I learned it, where it was nothing about work. You will put yourself in an early grave if you do not find just something, just a bit of joy, a bit of play. Remember who you were as a child. And if you don't remember who you were as a child, now's the time to be that kid for that little kid. That's what I'm trying to do, because I wasn't really a child.
I'm sorry, the adult me has left the room, and all that's left is my inner little girl who is like obsessed with our play date. We're going to just...
See, so we can play.
It's happening. I'm super excited. I'm sorry.
I love playing. That makes me happy.
That makes me happy to sit in real time watching you feel into that energy. And what it reminds me is that's what a flourishing democracy needs. If people are alive and present in their bodies and feeling some sense of like that buoyancy, that kid energy, you can't get them to sign up to go kill people, you know, in the streets. And so that I almost feel like play is a revolutionary antidote to what we're seeing right now.
Because joy.
Yes.
Because to yes and you.
Yeah. Yes! I'm improv with Wayne Brady, y'all.
If you
Whose line is it, Sarah's
it's
or Wayne's?
yours. It's yours.
It's yours.
If you have a society where, like the rage bait that you're talking about, if you have a society where everyone is walking around angry, leery because I can't trust y'all, afraid because you could be yanked out of your car, or show me your papers, or I don't believe. If everybody is destabilized, which means we're just concentrating on survival. Joy has no place in survival. Right. It is anthemic to survival. Right. Survival is survival. That's our flight or fight response. Yeah. If you have a society where we're all doing this, there is no place for joy, which means that there is no place for creativity. Like when you, as a president, slap your name on one of the most esteemed creative institutions in our country, when you start taking away these pieces of joy, then you have a people who are fearful. Fearful people tend to be compliant because they just want, hey, look, I just want to...
Just don't kill me.
Right.
I'll do whatever you say.
Just don't do that. Right. Versus... look at the creative leaps. Look at the scientific progress. Yeah. Science and creativity went hand in hand. When those innovations were happening, look at the joy and look at the relationships that people had to each other. Yes. It's different. So that's the thing that we are missing. You're right. Joy equals, creativity can equal joy.
Yes. Thank you so much. I literally am going to have a better day. That's the other thing. Hang out with somebody who makes you feel like you don't even need therapy. Thank you.
Well, that's what you did for me today. Thank you.